4.3. Write down the equation of the vertical asymptote of the graph of h, where if h of x equals g of x plus 5. Okay, very important here. What we need to be recognizing is we're dealing with a new function h of x, which is different to g of x. G of x. And I think let me actually get out g of x from the previous page that we've just calculated. That's not quite what I wanted. Let me rather just write it down. 2x plus 1 plus 1. 2x plus 1 plus 1. Here is our g of x. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is we need to recognize we're dealing with different functions first. After we do that, let's read the math. So if it says h of x is a new function and h of x equals g of x, which is a different function where the x is plus 5, if 5 is plus to the x, what that's trying to say is in our original g of x, which is over here, our x has been 5 units have been added to it in some way, left or right, but 5 has been added to the x. So this is really just a matter of saying, all right, g of x equals 2. Now, x is not equal to x is equal to x plus 5. Bracket. Brackets are important. Plus 1. The exact same principle here as when you find your first principles, your calculus first principles for a derivative. When you say f x plus h, you sub in x plus h, not x anymore. You sub in x plus h. The exact same thing we're doing here. 5 was added to our x, so let's sub in x plus 5 and no longer just x. Like so. That was supposed to be h of x. There we go. Plus 1 and then plus 1. So now we just simplify. 2 x plus 5, x plus 6 plus 1. So here is our new translated graph called h of x. Sorry, I'm getting my notation wrong here. This is supposed to be g of x plus 5. And this is h of x. Just like we have over here. H of x equals g of x plus 5. So now, what is, because the question asks, what is the vertical asymptote of the new graph h? And remember, the vertical asymptote is the asymptote that has to do with the x's. So if our graph had been shifted like so, I'm not drawing well, but you understand what I'm trying to do. Our graph is shifted right somehow by some amount. For example, 4 here. So that's ultimately what we're trying to do. Our graph has been translated. So let's have a look. The new vertical asymptote will be, we solve for x. X is equal to minus 6. So our x asymptote, our vertical asymptote, is now, I cannot draw, I apologize. Like so, minus 6 over here. And that really is all we have to do for the question. You don't have to draw these graphs. I was just trying to illustrate what we're doing. But and you also don't have to show this working if you just know the answer. If you can see that our graph has been shifted plus 5 and we already had plus 1, x plus 5 plus 1 is x plus 6. And that insinuates a vertical asymptote of minus 6. And that is the question solved.